Take it away, Gail.
All right, I'm going to start. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining. My name is Gail Wisner. I have been a health coach for pretty much 10 years. I now segued into parenting coaching, so I'm coaching parents, but health is always intertwined because health is such a fundamental part of my life. And I did study health from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, the largest holistic school in the country. And I also have several advanced coaching certifications. I've been gluten-free, sugar-free, and dairy-free for 18 years. And I suffered from many digestive disorders, including IBS and SIBO. And even though I've never been diagnosed as celiac, and blood work came back that said I'm not allergic to gluten, when I went off gluten and dairy and sugar, I felt significant changes in my body. And I decided if it works, I'm just going to stay that way. And I've also been an avid user of essential oils for 7 years. And they have completely transformed my life. I literally, like, my family calls me the oil lady, and I literally cannot imagine my life without my oils. They're like my go-to for everything. If I have a belly ache, or feel a cold coming on, or I have a cut, anything and everything, cleaning my counters, detoxing, you name it, there's an oil for it. I'm really into it. I have like 300 bottles at any one time. So I'm really into my oils. I love my oils. But I want to talk a little bit about gluten-free, and then we'll talk about oils because this workshop's about both. So I'm going to start just with the simple definition, because I know some people that had emailed me that are part of this group said they're brand new to the group and they're just becoming gluten-free, and they don't even really know a lot about it, but they know for whatever reason that's what they're decided to do. So I'm going to consider this an introductory call, knowing that there are people that might be in the group for years. And so just bear with me, because I want to make sure everybody understands. So basically, gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, rye, barley, and triticale. And gluten is what helps food maintain its shape. It acts as a glue that keeps everything together. It gives dough its elasticity. And that's pretty much why the worst foods on the planet are filled with gluten, sugar, and dairy. And those also, as an aside, are the highest inflammatory foods you can eat, is gluten, sugar, and dairy. So, as the more inflammation you have, the more susceptible you are to getting sick. So cutting out those three things, even though I know we're focused on gluten, but I might as well throw in the sugar and the dairy too. If you eliminate those three things, you're already on the road to health. So some of the benefits of going gluten-free is it definitely improves your cholesterol levels. People always think, you have high cholesterol if you eat meat. It's not true. My cholesterol is super, super low, and I eat meat. It has nothing to do with meat. It has to do with exercise and letting go of processed foods, which most gluten is processed. So definitely it promotes digestive health. It increases energy levels, which is my favorite, because I don't know anyone that doesn't want more energy. And, when you go gluten-free, you're already by default eliminating most of the worst processed foods, like I said. Which doesn't mean, I want to put as an aside, it doesn't mean if something says gluten-free that it's healthy. Don't make that mistake. There's processed food that's gluten-free that's just as unhealthy as, regular gluten foods. So the fact that it says gluten-free does not mean it's healthy, but you're on a path, you're more likely to get healthier food. You're going to eliminate the worst of the worst when you eliminate gluten. And it'll increase your chances of eating a whole foods diet, which is definitely what I recommend. Real food, the kind that God made, not the kind that man made in a factory. It definitely helps ward off viruses, germs, all of that. And it definitely helps promote weight loss, that's for sure. And it helps with things like IBS, arthritis, because it's helping with the inflammation. And so those are just some of the benefits. And there's, some people I know when they first go off gluten or anything, sugar, dairy, anything, if that was the staple of your diet, people often go into panic. Oh my God, what am I going to eat? And let me tell you, there is no shortage of food on the planet that you can eat that's real food and that tastes good and that's like just wholesome food. I'll just quickly list some of the grains, but I actually have great recipes for all of them. So I'll put I think all of you have my email, but if you want recipes, email me because I've got recipes galore. But basically anything from my personal favorite is amaranth, because amaranth is kind of like a hybrid protein and a grain. It's got more protein than any other grain on the planet. So it's a way to get high protein and grain, especially if you're vegan or semi-vegan, or trying to, eat more plant-based. Amaranth's definitely the highest in the protein levels. That's like the king, and then quinoa is like the queen. But then there's brown rice, wild rice, which I like, buckwheat, millet, tapioca, arrowroot, oats. The thing with oats you want to be really careful about is to make sure they say gluten-free on the bag, because if they don't say gluten-free on the bag, that means they're being made in a non-gluten-free facility. And if you're very sensitive to gluten, like because you have celiac, then cross-contamination is an issue and the gluten gets in your system and it can affect you. So if you're really want to be careful about your gluten, make sure that everything you eat has that gluten-free label in it, which means it will be made in a separate facility. It's really important if you're going gluten-free to read labels. Same with sugar. They put sugar in everything. It's unbelievable that the things that I found out have sugar in them that have no business having sugar in them would just, it was just like appalled me. I mean, I can't even remember. There were things that just were not even normal to have sugar in them, but they do. And the same with gluten. So if it's important to you, you need to read labels and see what you're ingesting in your mouth. And the same will go for essential oils. Like not all, and Vera will talk a little bit more about that. Not all essential oils are alike. You don't just pick up an essential oil and say, oh, great, I can put it in a capsule and eat it. No, if it's not, therapeutic grade, then no, you don't ingest it. So reading labels is really important. It's part of just being a responsible adult. But some gluten-free substitutes that I love to use, which I mean, I don't use all of them, but to bind things, like if I'm making protein bars or something, I use Irish sea moss, which is a sea vegetable, and it's so good for you, especially if you have thyroid issues. It's like ideal for thyroid. I love my Irish sea moss, and it's like white and creamy, and it just, a really good substitute to use instead of flour. And then I'll use chia seeds or flax seeds or chia protein, which doesn't have any fat. It's just the pure protein of chia, but it binds things. There's also, I don't use it, but there's also corn flour and potato starch, arrowroot. They're just not as healthy. I don't use them. But the point is that there's many more, and I'm happy to share those with you, one-on-one. But the point is that there are no shortage of substitutes out there today. So being gluten-free is like the easiest thing in the world. But again, you have to, like, people just assume it's in wheat and barley and rye, but it's also in things like soy sauce. Regular soy sauce can have wheat in it. Often does. Many of them do. I think there's one brand that doesn't, but you got to look for it. But soy sauce, malt vinegars, anything, certain cheeses add like a flour which has gluten in it. So you just really need to look at it. I'm going to spend a minute talking about celiac disease, even though a very small percentage of the population have it, but it is a very, very serious. So it's important. So it's really an autoimmune disease that occurs in genetically predisposed people where the ingestion of gluten leads to damage in the small intestine.
Someone here does have celiac, so just want you to be aware of that.
Oh, great. Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Then I'm glad I'm talking to someone who's listening, because this is really important. So yes, it's an autoimmune disease that occurs in genetically predisposed people where ingestion of gluten leads to damage in the small intestine. When someone with celiac disease consumes gluten, what happens is the body starts to trigger an immune response that goes ahead and attacks the small intestine. And then when the lining of the small intestine gets damaged, then nutrients can't be adequately absorbed in the body. And that's very dangerous because you're not getting, nutrients that you need. The only way to know you can do it, I did it through blood tests and it showed I wasn't, but it's not 100% accurate. I think the only way to really accurately diagnose if you have celiac is to do an intestinal biopsy. But definitely it puts you at risk for osteoporosis, osteopenia, central and peripheral nervous system disorders, all of this stuff. So there's nothing to be afraid of if you do the right thing and take care of yourself. But it is like a big no-no to even eat gluten occasionally once in a while if you have celiac. It's that's the time when you need to be super, super strict. So I want to kind of segue into the oils because for me, one of the biggest reasons that I initially, before I knew about oils, because I didn't know about them, 18 years ago when I started on my journey of health, one of the reasons I went off the gluten, the sugar, because I was exhausted. I was just, I had other symptoms too, but I was so tired. I still remember I had I was in a 12-step group when I joined and went off like sugar. And I remember calling my sponsor and saying, I can't even walk around the lake for 20 minutes. I'm like panting. I'm like, I feel like a grandmother. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. I just was so tired all the time. And I couldn't take it anymore. And anyway, so I started with eliminating gluten, sugar, dairy, which I think is a start. But then I still wanted more energy. I felt better. There's no question that I felt immediately better and I got a lot of energy back. But then I really wanted to go into fitness and really get a lot of my energy back. And that's when oils came in my life. And oils raise your vibrational frequency. They're all frequency. And the higher your vibrational frequency, the more energy you're going to have. So it took me a while to really learn about the oils. And, first I was a little skeptical and a little nervous, especially ingesting them. I put them in capsules in my body. So I started by just doing putting lemon in my water, which also was awesome because it got me to drink a lot of water. I put lemon, grapefruit, orange, lime, citrus mix, clementine. They have all these amazing oils that taste really good. And you just put a couple drops in your water and all of a sudden your water tastes great. And obviously it's without any of the sugar because I don't eat sugar. So I don't want all the, it's like having fruit without the sugar, which is really awesome. And you don't have to wash it and buy it and peel it. It's like you have a bottle, all you do is put a few drops in. So I started with that, but then I wanted to really go to the next level. And that's when I started putting them in capsules and taking things like oregano, rosemary, thyme, things that just killed any parasites, germs, anything and everything that was making me tired and weighing me down. And 7 years later, today I train anywhere from 3.5 to 4 hours a day. I work really hard. I do an hour on the Stairmaster or biking for an hour, high intensity. And then I weight train for 2 hours. And then I do yoga, stretching and all that for an hour. And I just use my oils. That's what I do a protein shake or whatever, a supplement, but there's no question it's my oils. I take a couple of doses before I go. And then I have my roll on that I take with me and, roll it on. And it's just it smells so good. It gives you it just gives you a little high, but it's so good for you because it's all therapeutic grade, no additives, nothing. So again, like I said before, I can't imagine life without my oils. It takes a while to really learn what oils to use for what and get your body adjusted. So, it's a process, but I'm definitely anyone who's interested in getting started on the oils. I'm definitely here to walk you through everything. You don't need to figure anything out alone. There's guidance and support, but that's in a nutshell my experience with oils. So Vera's going to talk now. She's going to share about her experience with oils, and then we are definitely both going to do take Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions while we're talking, write them down, and then you can put them in the chat box and we'll try to answer everything. So, all right, floor is yours, Vera.
Okay, guys. Hi, I'm Vera. Hi, Rivka, Teresa, Elisa. I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about essential oils. And I've been using them for about, I don't know, God, since 2012, but I didn't really understand the extent of how powerful they were because I was like buying them at like Whole Foods and Marshalls. But I also struggled with an addiction to sugar and flour, and I eliminated those things from my diet, and then I found that I wanted to detox my body even more, and I became a yoga teacher, and I want an alternative basically to pharmaceuticals, and I had psoriasis and eczema, and again, amazing, going gluten-free is amazing to help with any autoimmune or disorders, right, Gail? I mean, incredible for inflammation, because getting off of sugar is so powerful for that. And I felt like when I got off of those things, I had a new level of stress that I wasn't even able to identify. But that's where the oils came in, and the yoga and meditation, because I didn't have like this thing that I was using anymore to make me like feel comfort. And to me, like the way that I grew up, pastas, breads, were comfort food. I remember going out with my mom, and we just loaded up on bread before even the meal came, and then we wouldn't even be hungry for the meal because we have eaten so much bread. So I associated love with gluten and bread, really. So when I said goodbye to it, it was like saying goodbye to a lover, that's someone who had filled my soul for so many years. And so oils were a way to also help with this sort of like longing, and I could sort of also focus on something else and learn about plants, and I couldn't deny that I got healthier. My skin got better, and I got more focused, and I was able to just, live my life without this kind of need to get this hit from these substances. Like I would go to like events, and I'd be the first one at the table where all the food was, because I was so uncomfortable just being myself. And I was like, well, whatever, I can shove in my mouth. And then I just wanted more of it. So I was learning to really live without that. And so in any event, that's where oils came into my life. So I'm just going to share, I have like I put together something very, very simple for you guys. And yeah, feel free in the chat, if you have questions come up, because I do want this to be, I don't want to just talk at you. I want it to be interactive. This was Gail. I put some pictures of Gail. Let me close that. Yeah, let me put some. So here's some pictures of Gail. I don't know, Gail, if you want to share about your pictures for a second at all.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking through all the different phases of my life, and where I was. Whew,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, not too much detail, just keep it simple.
Yeah. I guess I'm just seeing myself. I mean, I am. I'll keep it in 30 seconds or less. I'm not going to go into the details, but I see myself at different junctures of my life, and I see in each one how I'm still using oils in all of them in all different ways, and how I'm seeing my oil progressing over the years, and how the more, and I'll end with this, the more I progressed in using my oils, the more I progressed in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Here's me, a little bit about me. So I'm a 2-time cancer survivor as well. I survived breast and brain cancer. I'm not in remission yet because that's 5 years, and I was diagnosed less than 2 years ago with breast cancer, and then I was diagnosed 5 months ago with brain cancer. So I've gone through chemo and double major surgery. And again, I have not used pharmaceuticals to help my mood or to help me detox, but rather essential oils in combination with some of the medical drugs they gave me for maintenance of cancer, which is really estrogen blocking. I have a genetic cancer that was passed down to me. And I'm also a yoga teacher. And I have two little ones, 5 and 7 years old. They're amazing. They're like the light of my life. And I have my graduate degree from Harvard in education. I was a teacher for 8 years. And I'm also a life coach. So 3 cool things about essential oils. Well, number one, they're safe. They're 100% natural. There's no side effects. You don't get addictions to it. They're extracted from plants and they have amazing health benefits. I mean, Gail and I are talking about all the health benefits. And then you want to make sure your essential oils are CPTG, which stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. They're so powerful. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. That's why all you really need is 1 drop. So for instance, peppermint, if you put it in your hands and rub your hands together and inhale, it's incredibly energizing. It promotes clear breathing. It helps cool the body and it relieves tension. Another cool thing is that it's effective, very effective. So it's more effective than modern approaches to health problems. And so, for instance, you guys, we're all made up of cells. And the essential oils can permeate the cellular wall and attack the virus or whatever is lurking there on a cellular level, because essential oils are fat soluble and pharmaceuticals are water-based, water soluble. So that is why they are so effective. And for instance, On Guard is so incredible for immunity. This was an oil that I could not live without. When the seasons change, this is an oil that I cannot live without right now during the pandemic, during the whole like Delta variant, because it kills 99.9% of germs and it has clove. And it's like anytime you're concerned about getting sick, like this is the oil to go to. It helps with your immunity immensely. And then they're affordable. It's definitely more affordable than traditional medical care. There's no co-pays. You don't have to drive anywhere. You literally open up your medicine cabinet, or for me, I have my oils literally everywhere around my house, and you just take what you need out. For instance, this is frankincense. Frankincense is an incredible cellular oil to help with cellular reproduction and white blood cells. And you can just take it internally. You can even put it right on your skin. You can put it on the roof of your mouth for calming anxiety and stress. So you just have to learn a little bit about how to use it. But once you learn how to use it, you just take it and use it. And for instance, lavender is a great one to keep by your bed because it's good for calming the mind and the body. And if you're having a trouble going to sleep, maybe you just put down gluten. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm like saying goodbye to this lover called gluten. And I have trouble going to bed, break out a little bit of your lavender, put it on the bottoms of your feet. And you'll be like a baby, sleeping like a baby. And then there's 3 ways to use the essential oils. First way is aromatic. So just like this is a diffuser. It's not a humidifier, as some people have said. It's a diffuser. It diffuses the oil into the air. And it can purify the air, right? And you can also just put essential oils in your hands. So that's what we call by aromatic. It also supports the respiratory system. Again, a very important area we want to focus on right now, the respiratory system. Another area is topical. So you can get very, very localized effects by just putting it right on the body part. So if you have basically the rule of thumb, if you're like, ow, put essential oil, rub it with some coconut oil, for best results. And if you want to preserve your skin and you want to help with fine lines and wrinkles, and you're trying to avoid doing any Botox or anything like that, and you want to try something natural, I highly recommend essential oils are extremely effective for the skin and for tightening the skin, fine lines, wrinkles, sunspots, scars, anything like that. Frankincense is incredible for that. And the third way is internal. So again, detoxing with essential oils, using essential oils for immunity support, all of that, you can take them internally. I take essential oils every day internally. And you can also put them in your water. So just a few essential oils when you are on your gluten-free journey is Digestin. Digestin is incredible for stomach support. So normally, like when you're eliminating something from your diet, you're sometimes your body is just trying to adjust to the new situation, and quite frankly, it can affect your digestion for the better. But it's still your body's going to go through a bit of a shock. So Digestin is going to relieve that upset stomach. It's going to relieve any nausea. It's going to relieve any discomfort that you're going to have. And you use it at meal times. You can put it on your tongue. You can rub it on your tummy. Again, your body's going through adjusting. Sometimes when people let go of flour and sugar, they can actually have almost, again, it's like letting go of a drug. You can have physical reaction to that, and your body can get really stiff. It can feel uncomfortable. You can be really tired. I've seen all sorts of things in all my years of seeing people go through this. Deep Blue is the oil for relieving any tension or a tweaky back. If you have any neck pain, shoulder pain, this is the oil. You can rub it on your knees. You can use it before and after exercise. Breathe helps your lungs and sinuses, promotes clear breathing day and night. Copaiba is another one. This is our version of the CBD oil, and it's also incredible for immunity. It's not CBD, but it's from the cannabinoid family, and this calms the nervous system. Again, when you put down gluten, you are putting a shock to your system because you've maybe been eating the substance for 30, 40, 50 years. And then you're saying, I'm ready to have a break from it. And so you want to calm your nervous system. So this is internal calming of your nervous system. Again, frankincense is incredible for your skin, anti-aging, helps cells perform optimally. If you go to pubmed.com and you type in frankincense cancer, you will see studies that pop up that show the anti-inflammatory effects, the powerful effects of frankincense. This is an oil that's been used for thousands of years. It's mentioned in the Bible numerous times. Baby Jesus received frankincense and myrrh from the three kings. On top of that, doTERRA is a wellness company, and we do have supplements. I take the supplements daily because they have the frankincense. They have the food nutrients that you need when you're starting to get and cleanse your body and change your normal eating habits, what you did before. You're changing your eating habits to something else. So this helps acclimate you to that lifestyle because it has the omega oils, and omega oils are so essential for skin, hair, nails. It's an antioxidant. So this is a foundation to wellness for myself. And then on top of that, I just make sure I'm eating a lot of whole foods, as Gail said, from the earth, God's foods. If it didn't grow from the ground, I probably won't eat it, at this point in my life. It's been 17 years of doing that. And I'm very committed to that. And so this is a foundation that I have in conjunction with that. And people think, well, Vera, you eat so healthy. Why do you even supplement? Well, because I need that extra fortification. I mean, I would have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables to what I'm getting here. And I don't have that and I don't have that. I mean, there's spirulina, there's cauliflower. I'm not always eating these things. So it puts it all together. Okay, so I'm gonna pause right there for a second. And Gail, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I actually, thanks for bringing up the supplements. It's so interesting because I have probably one of the best doctors. She was the director at Hippocrates Health Institute. Anyway, I have some thyroid issues, so she gave me a whole list of supplements to take. Selenium, whatever it is, a long list. Interestingly enough, I looked at the back of the doTERRA label of the supplements. I also take all three, the fish oil, the cellular vitality, and the regular supplements. And every single supplement that she told me to take is in there. And I was like, oh my God, I was buying 20 bottles of different supplements to get everything I need. And then doTERRA has it all in one. So I really love that if you take those three, and I also have the probiotics and the digestive enzymes, but if you take those, basically it's five, you really don't need anything else. And yeah, I do believe I've spoken to some of the best doctors in the country, and we all need to supplement. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat. Nobody eats enough to get everything they need, because you'd be like 1,000 pounds. I mean, you just can't. So everyone needs supplements, but not all supplements are alike. So many supplements, just like oils, are filled with fillers, and they're actually a waste of money. So you don't even buy them. But it's really important to get high quality supplements, and these have the essential oils. I just want to say that, I just found it interesting that the very oils, the very, vitamins and minerals my doctor told me to take are all on the back of the bottle. So it was pretty cool.
Okay, so I'm just gonna end there, but I will, just show you what, say you did want to get started with some oils. I'm just gonna briefly go over what that looks like. So it's very simple, very simple. We have some little starter packets that are very reasonably priced. For instance, this one is only $160 and it comes with 10 oils. I mean, that's it's an incredible deal. And you get a free diffuser. So top 10 oils for wellness and health and detoxification and immunity. And Gail and I will teach you how to use that. And then this one is the supplements plus 5 oils: lavender, frankincense, balance, lemon, and on guard, plus probiotic. And we have a probiotic that's a double capsule. Again, you're getting off with, you're really wanting to get off with that gluten, and cleanse the body, cleanse your colon, cleanse your large and small intestines, and having a digestive enzyme and a probiotic are pretty key to cleaning out that gut, or making that gut really healthy. So you really focus on that gut health, because the happier your gut is, the happier your mind is. And there's links to your gut health and your mood. And people have found that when their gut is in check, their mood improves. They are happier. They are more energized. Their skin clears up. And so the probiotics and the digestive enzymes help with that. And so this comes all together, plus the muscle rub for muscle aches and joint pain. And then this is just the oils, but bigger bottles. So that first kit had smaller bottles. This one has bigger bottles. There's 250 drops in each bottle. This one has 150 drops. So this one is $249 and it comes with a bigger diffuser. And you should definitely have a diffuser in your bedroom, in your living room, just to set the mood, and try to get rid of like the Yankee candles and Glade plugins, because those have toxins in them, and that could infiltrate your body and could be, I'm not going to say cause cancer, because I can't say something like that, but they're very toxic and they're not good for your body. And then this is natural solutions, and this is supplements, it's oils. It's like basically the best of the best products that doTERRA offers for you. And it's really for those who are really serious about reinventing their wellness and want to take it to the next level. Okay, Gail, that is my spiel.
Okay, that was awesome. So we're going to open it up to Q&A if anyone has any. But what I want to say is, if you're interested in purchasing the oils, but you're not sure which package is right for you, send me an email. I'm at gail@gailwisner.com. We'll set up a time. We'll talk. You'll tell me exactly what your issues are, what you're looking to do. And I can help guide you on which kit is going to be right for you. So don't feel, if you're, pressured, if you're not sure. I'm here to guide you and anyone who purchases the oils. As soon as you receive the oils and you open the box, you send me another email and we set up a time to talk, and we will go through each oil with you as you have it in your hands. So the point is, you don't have to figure out anything alone. They're not hard to do, it just takes a little bit of education, but I'm here to help you and I'm here to guide you. So with that,
Can I
yeah.
say something? I love what Teresa said. She was raised on a farm, all comfort, gluten foods, bread, rolls, etc. She was diagnosed at age 63 with celiac disease, and she's still grieving. And yeah, there is a big grieving. I feel like that should be just a huge part of the letting go of the gluten, is how hard it is to it's so like, we all know why we should let it go. It's clearly like you've gone through all the health benefits, but the psychological attachments is like a whole other like journey.
Yeah.
And we need support over that. And that's great that you guys have a group for that, because that's so important. You need that. And again, the oils help immensely with the emotional. Yes, Teresa, very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, I have these memories of my mom and I have a challenging relationship, but the way that she gave me love was by taking me out to eat. And we went to a lot of Jewish like deli like places, and a lot of brunches, a lot of breakfast places, and I had always a flour product, a gluten, breads, breads, and a lot of bagels, a lot of bagels. I was raised on a lot of bagels, and I was a very doughy, chubby child, and I was checked out a lot, and I did not eat well. And my mom is still struggling with her body and her weight, and she's 70 something, 9 or something, and you think she was 89. I mean, she uses a walker, her knees always hurt, her varicose veins are out of control. I just see the effects over the years of someone who did not take care of themselves. And people think, I can't believe that's your mom. But I became so extreme because my mom was so undisciplined, and I think that's what happens sometimes. Maybe if my mom was like me, I would like rebel and, I wouldn't care about all this, but I see the effects. But thank you for sharing, Teresa.
Yeah. And Teresa, I'm more than happy to help you. There's so many oils that help with the emotional component. And thanks for bringing that up, because yeah, Vera's right. The emotional component is so much harder than the physical. And definitely there's no question I went through my withdrawal, but we are so resilient, we are so much stronger than we think. And there is no question you can get through this easily. And yeah, there's definitely oils to balance out, anything and everything. And they really are amazing.
All right. So you guys can stay on, ask questions, or Gail will connect with you. But I'm here, Gail's here, and I'm gonna stop the class, stop the recording.